What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back with another video. Yo, if this is your first time at the channel, just know I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We are taking the humble route. Let's get into today's video. Guys, today we're looking at, well, before I even start, you guys know I'm extremely pro AI. And, I just love all the possibilities that AI can present to us in the future. But I stumbled upon this article yesterday, and I kind of wanted to go over it with you guys. It says Amazon CEO says AI will reduce number of corporate jobs and change the way our work is done. Andy Jassy tells employees to be curious about AI to educate yourself. Let's go into this, and I'll give you guys my own thoughts about this, and where this may lead the terrain. I know you guys, a lot of people want to see me talk about, the conflict right now with Iran and Israel and America. I'll probably save that for a video for later, but I thought this was a little bit interesting. So I wanted to go over this before I go into, the Middle East conflict. So it says Amazon Chief Executive Officer Andy Jassy outlined a near future where AI will make our jobs even more exciting and have fun than they are today. But at the same time, he said the technology will cut the overall number of jobs at the e-commerce giant. In a memo Tuesday to Amazon employees, Jassy shared some thoughts on generative AI. As we roll out more generative AI and agents, it should be change the way our work is done. We will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs. It's hard to know exactly where this nets out over time, but in the next few years, we expect that this will reduce our total corporate workforce as we get efficiency gains from using AI extensively across the company. So, you know, just like he said, he didn't announce, immediate layoffs, but Andy was pretty blunt. AI will make some jobs obsolete, and fewer people will be needed for certain roles. He also said in the article that AI is already being used in every corner of Amazon, from warehouse robots to customer service chatbots to, writing product descriptions. And he even mentioned that Amazon has over 1,000 AI services and applications either built or in development. And that's, just a start. But the real kicker to me is, while some jobs will disappear, Jassy, he says that a lot of new types of jobs will pop up, and employees who embrace AI by learning and experimenting with it will be in a better spot to stay relevant. Anytime I talk to you guys about video, or anytime I talk to you guys in my videos about AI and the corporate landscape and different things like that, I always mention that AI will indeed take some jobs, but the people who actually learn how to utilize AI in their everyday jobs, they have a little bit more wiggle room. And as you can see right now, what Andy is saying is that people have to learn to embrace AI. We're far too gone from the point that, oh, you're just hearing about AI. You have to actively be learning about what it is, how it can be used, how it can make you more productive, and how it can, make you more efficient in your everyday working life. And I've constantly brought up the fact that China, the Beijing Education Municipality, has a mandate starting this September 2025 that children as young as 6 years old are going to start learning how to implement and use AI. And that's a huge deal. That is an extremely huge deal. Because if these kids start learning about AI at the age 6, by the time they get to the workforce with that knowledge of AI, just can you even fathom what they'll be able to produce, how efficient they will be? A lot of people always come up with the other side saying, oh, it doesn't, nobody knows what their mentality is, or what their mental bandwidth can be, being that they're so young and different things like that. But it's like, listen, AI is here to stay, right? And again, as someone who's pro AI, I can see why, Jassy, he's excited. AI can make businesses insanely efficient, right? For example, he mentioned that, an AI coding assistant already saved Amazon programmers 4,500 years of work by speeding up software upgrades. That obviously might be an exaggeration, but still, that's extremely crazy. In warehouses, a lot of AI is improving inventory placement and robot efficiency, which cuts costs and gets packages to customers faster, right? And Amazon is also using AI to power Alexa and create smarter product pages, which can boost sales. Guys, when you get to this type of level, especially in e-commerce or whatever business, you want to provide as much value and you want to make as much money for the shareholders as possible. So, they're going to do what they're going to do, right? Because like I said, from a business perspective, this is obviously a no-brainer. Amazon has already invested $100 billion in AI and data centers. And, Andy, he's betting it'll give them a competitive edge, right? Now, for consumers like you and I, this could mean lower prices, faster delivery, cooler technology, like a more efficient Alexa, even though, I use iPhone, I use Apple, so I have Siri. And, he's right that AI will create new roles, right? Think about, people who can train the AI, data scientists or engineers who, build thousands and thousands of AI tools, right? And if you're willing to upskill and learn more skills, there's opportunity right there. But when I have to put my critical hat on, not everyone can just pivot to an AI job overnight, right? And Andy's memo, it didn't exactly, flesh out or spell out how Amazon's going to help workers transition. And that's obviously where the red flags, start to rise, right? Because on the human side, a lot of Amazon's employees probably aren't going to be thrilled, right? Business Insider reported that some workers, went to Slack to say, hey, there's nothing more motivating on a Tuesday than reading that, that your job will be replaced by AI. A lot of other people were questioning why AI cuts seem to target rank and file workers, while Amazon's senior leadership team has only grown under Jassy. So a lot of people are questioning why a lot of senior leadership and management, there's more and more roles under that umbrella, while people who have to do the grunt work, they're becoming fewer and fewer. It's obviously a valid argument, but again, when you're at that level, you want to do what you can to bring out the most money for the shareholders. And Amazon obviously is no stranger to layoffs. Since 2022, they've cut over 27,000 jobs, including 100 in their devices unit just last month. And now this memo, it feels like a warning that obviously more are coming. Even if he says it'll mostly happen through not replacing people who leave. But for workers, especially people who are in like software development or customer support, this creates a lot of uncertainty. And the realistic concern is that AI can make jobs less fulfilling. A lot of us know people who are in roles that, they just absolutely love their role. It gives them a sense of purpose, different things like that. And the New York Times, has recently interviewed a lot of Amazon engineers who said AI is pushing them to, produce code more faster, making their work feel more routine and less thoughtful, right? Because if AI turns creative jobs into like an assembly line type of task, a lot of people are going to feel like it's a downgrade instead of progress, because a lot of people like using their brains in order to come up with the codes versus using AI to help them code better. So again, I'm pro AI because obviously it can solve problems, cut waste, and open a lot of new doors. But I'm also critical of how companies like Amazon can roll it out. And this memo, it's honest, but it's really light on solutions. I am going to put a link to the article so you guys can read a little bit more. But if Amazon is serious about helping workers, right, they need to invest in reskilling programs, right? Like free AI training or clear paths to those new types of jobs that the memo was talking about. Otherwise, just corporate, corporate talk for, figure it out or get left behind. But the truth is, Amazon's not alone. A lot of companies like Shopify, CrowdStrike, they're also cutting jobs as, AI takes over a lot of routine tasks. And, guys, this is the future and it's coming extremely fast. And Andy's advice is to be curious about AI. It's extremely sound and it's extremely solid, but it's not enough, right? Workers need support, not just pep talk. And Amazon, as a second largest employer in the United States, has a responsibility to set an example. But that's my take on the Amazon's AI shakeup. Let me know what you think. Are you guys excited about AI's potential? You guys know I am extremely pro AI and different things like that. But in the sense of Amazon, do you guys see a lot of potential, or are you worried that Amazon is going to have a lot more job cuts? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I try to read as much as I can. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, share, and hit the bell notification so you always get notified when I drop a new video. Share this video to someone who might see some value in it. And never, ever forget, it's you and I verse. Information, application, execution. Until next time. Peace.